Oh, that one's cute. Oh, I like that one. This one's just adorable. No one ever matches with me. Mini Android tablets don't get a lot of love. Who are you?
This is Brad. He likes to review the tech. He also likes to draw. And this here is his theme song.
Yeah, I'm still workshopping the theme song. How'd you get in here? We've seen Android tablets get bigger and bigger, but finding a mini Android tablet that you can draw on? It's been kind of hard. Here comes Xiaomi sliding into your DMs with the Xiaomi Pad Mini. I like what I see. While some mini tablets are focused on the budget buyer, or maybe they're e-readers, or even built for gaming, this is an all-purpose tablet that's really shooting to be like a mini flagship. Xiaomi sent this tablet over along with a case and also a pen for me to take a look and do this review. Thoughts are my own. You know it. In the box, we have the little tablet, a power charger, and also a USB Type-C cord. The pen is a USI-powered stylus. This means it has a battery that's going to need charged from time to time. But you can use any USI-compatible stylus here. Let's talk about the screen. Oh, nice. This is an 8.8-inch 165Hz display with a resolution of 3008 pixels by 1880 pixels. It looks pretty good. There are nice colors, they're crisp. It's a solid little LCD. The viewing angles, they're only okay, but other than that, I think it's a really nice screen. I also really like Xiaomi's custom Android skin on this. They have some really nice UI touches and animations that feel crisp and smooth and show off that high refresh rate. It has 512 gigabytes of storage with 12 gigabytes of RAM. There is no micro SD card slot here, so make sure that you get enough storage up front. Swipe left. We have a camera all on the back that has a little bump. It does lead to a little bit of tippiness if you're drawing on this and it's flat on the ground, and that only affects you if you're not using the case. You also have the front-facing camera. That gets the job done. It's fine. It's in portrait mode, not landscape mode. That's probably because this is a mini tablet. You can hold it in one hand, more like a phone. And there are two, count them, two USB Type-C ports on this. I don't know if I've ever seen that on an Android device. This is using the current top-of-the-line MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus processor. This is the same processor that Samsung is putting in their top-of-the-line Galaxy Tab S11 and S11 Ultra. I don't talk much about games on this channel, but is it okay with you if I go on a little tangent? Yeah, go for it. I really love the size of tablet for gaming. I reviewed the iPad mini about a year ago, said a lot of the same things, because they make these wider telescopic controllers that fit alongside these kind of tablets. The one I'm using is called the Razer Kishi Ultra, I think. I'll link it down below in the description. I did get this for the iPad mini, but the shape of the iPad mini is more almost squarish of a rectangle. This has a more widescreen orientation, which I think makes it a lot better for games than the iPad mini, at least for the way that I want to game. I'm playing Destiny Rising here on Android because I was just kind of curious how it would perform. The answer is pretty good. I also tested this out on the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite, a much slower processor, and it worked there, but you can tell that it was serving up a much lower resolution on that screen to pull it off and make sure that the frame rate didn't drop too much. Here, it is a lot crisper. This tablet is also great for retro game emulation, another one of my hobbies, but probably what I use it for the most is streaming games from my PC to a handheld. If you have a fast Wi-Fi network in your house, it is a great way to go. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest. I feel like we're really developing a connection. Oh, I'm married. I meant to the tablet, you jerk. And of course, this thing is pretty good for drawing. It's a nice little digital sketch pad. If you're looking to get into drawing or using something like this for drawing, definitely check out my courses over at bradsartschool.com. I learned to draw in 60 days course designed for beginners. So if you've ever taken a class or a tutorial and thought, what am I missing? This is beyond my skill. My 60 days course is designed to fill in those blanks and get you ready. Go over to bradsartschool.com if you want to learn more. So let's dive deeper into drawing on this thing. There are pros and cons to having a tablet this size. First of all, it's ultra portable. It fits in one hand. It's super easy to take with you. It makes a great little mobile sketchbook. And due to the nature of many of Android drawing apps, it works pretty well. Clip Studio has its own doodle mode. That's what I'm using in the background of this video when I'm drawing. Other apps like iBez Paint X or High Paint have minimal interfaces to start with that just kind of get out of your way, so you can use them on a really small screen like this with no problem. Part of that is because those are designed specifically for phones, so when you scale it up to a larger screen, you just get more drawing real estate. That's nice. Now, Krita, which is a desktop app that was ported over to Android, doesn't fare so well on smaller screens. The interface just takes up a lot of the potential drawing space that you have. Krita also, for whatever reason, hates this pen. So when not drawing on my go, like when I'm sitting at my desk, I do prefer the additional size that I get from other tablets. This is a touch small, but it could definitely get the job done. Now, the thing that holds this tablet back for me, and if you've seen some of my other Android drawing app videos, you might have seen this coming. It's that USI stylus. But I have to say, this is one of the better implementations of the USI stylus that I've seen. This is a battery-powered stylus, and unlike other USI stylus I've seen and I've tested, this one doesn't have a USB Type-C port for charging and pairing. It magnetically attaches along the side of the device to do that. Kind of like how the Apple Pencil functions. Now, with these styluses, I'm used to seeing unnatural waves and bumps in my line when I'm drawing. Here, it was, I'm a little hesitant to say this, it was kind of manageable by turning the stabilization on some of these brushes. I thought it was okay. I would say that it takes the USI stylus from like a grade of a D to the grade of a C or a C+. So for sketching or that sort of thing, using a pencil brush, capturing ideas on the go, I thought it was really good. I thought it worked really well. Where this thing starts to rear its head for me is when I'm trying to get like good, clean line work. But like I said, with stabilization on, I was able to kick some of that out. Occasionally it would show up in my line work and I'd have to redo things or change the angle I was drawing at, but for the most part, it was okay.
Maybe I'm too generous throwing this back in the C category. It really kind of depended on the app that I was using. In Clip Studio Paint, I thought it was pretty good. When I was jumping over to other things like High Paint and especially Krita, I was really noticing those wavy lines. Even in the Me Notes app that comes pre-installed on this thing, the lines were the same wavy lines that I see on every other USI stylus.
One thing I definitely noticed when I started using this is that the stylus's alignment was off by like 3 or 4 pixels. It was just like that far below the tip of the pen when I was drawing. Didn't really care for that too much. But the good news is some Android apps like Clip Studio, which I was using primarily here, lets you adjust the cursor offset, so I was able to fix that completely, and I was off to the races. Cursor offset, good to know. Other things the pen does well, pressure sensitivity isn't too bad. Initial activation rate, also decent. That way, if you press slightly, you're still gonna get a fine line. I've talked a lot about tilt in Android videos lately, mostly because Samsung has redesigned their S Pen to do that better. In Clip Studio, using the same exact brush pencil thing here, I get no tilt at all. It does change the pressure a little bit because I'm unable to apply quite as much pressure like when I'm like tilting the stylus sideways. So I'm not getting any kind of tilt from this stylus.
Now the palm rejection on this pen is pretty good, but I think it comes at the expense of some other things. For example, using this pen to actually navigate the tablet, especially when you're drawing and you're trying to tap on tools, whether that's to change the color or add a layer or just generally use this pen to navigate the interface, it's not really all of that responsive. So I found myself flipping between the pen and my fingers to tap on things, and from a productivity standpoint, that was something that really slowed me down here.
The tablet also comes with something called Mi Canvas, which is Xiaomi's own drawing app. It's pretty basic, but it's got some drawing tools and whatnot. It's pre-installed, so if you're curious, boot it up, try it. For me, I prefer to just jump over to the Google Play Store, just download a real art app, something that I'm used to using. But the one thing that the Mi Canvas app does really well is it shows how little latency this pen can have. There's no perceptible lag when I'm drawing in Mi Canvas with this pen. Other Android drawing apps aren't that well optimized, but in fairness, they're doing a lot more. When I slow down Clip Studio, even with stabilization off, you're going to see some latency as the line follows the pen. It's going to do the same thing in iPad Paint X. It's going to do that in pretty much every drawing app that I tested. Now, obviously, this is slowed down. That makes it more noticeable. But this is something that people notice in the background of my videos all the time, so I figure it's worth mentioning here. This is one area where I think some of the iPad apps, specifically Procreate, just do a better job. And it's also something that I've gotten used to, so it doesn't really bother me when I'm drawing in real time. Now, if this tablet had a different pen, I think I'd really be in love with this thing because I love the size. I love the performance. I like the design and the build quality. I think all of those things are great. If you aren't planning on drawing on this tablet, but just taking notes or gaming and like the form factor, it definitely gets my approval. If you are going to be using this as your primary drawing tool, I hesitate a little bit more to recommend it. Even though this is a better implementation of USI, it's still, like I said, it's gone from a D to a C. Better, but I think you're probably better off going with Samsung or what Wacom's doing right now, or even like an XP Pen tablet. Also, if you are interested in this tablet, you might want to check out a different Xiaomi tablet, the Redmi K-Pad. It came out over the summer, has almost identical specs. In fact, it might be the same exact tablet, just rebranded, same screen, same processor. Usually the Redmi brand of tablets are like Xiaomi's budget products, so they put a lower end processor in there. It doesn't have as much storage, the screen's not as good, that sort of thing. So not sure why they're releasing two of pretty much the same thing here, but if you are price shopping, that one might be worth checking out. What do you think about this little mini Android tablet? Are you like me? Do you want to see more of these? Do you want to see Samsung make something like this? Let's make some noise down below in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you in a couple of days.